What's up, guys? So this is a ticker review for Nvidia on March 12th. I run a Discord where I post my entries and exits and trade ideas throughout the day. If you want to join that, the link's in the description below. But let's get into the charts. So on a monthly chart, I'm just going to start with a general overview. We're still pretty extended here. As you can see, we're at an 85 RSI, and we can get more extended. But as I was going over the charts, I looked at this, and I'm seeing this as like a bull flag, right? When you draw out the extension, you can see our target was around $800 a share, somewhere around there. So we've definitely surpassed that at this point. I had a bull flag target on the daily too a few videos ago, and we surpassed that. I think that was at 937 or something. But yeah, we're extended on the monthly, really far from home base at this point. Like we're 141% away. It doesn't mean we have to come back, but at some point we either correct in time or with a pullback. The weekly chart, when you go into here, I was going back about 10 years worth of chart history, and the furthest we got away from the 20 was, I think it was right here, was 60%. And as where we stand right now, we're at 52%. And oddly enough, if we get to 60%, that's the all-time highs again. So we're definitely really elevated historically for this chart too. So I'm looking for that. Obviously, we still have this gap that I'm targeting. I've been targeting that, and we're pushing hard. But all we're doing basically is retracing this downward move we had on Friday. If you go into the daily chart, you can see that we broke the high from yesterday and got followed through, closed at the highs. We're trading up in after hours as well. We closed right in my zone where I would take a short. I'm not shorting this right now. I have a short on SMCI. I am looking to short this tomorrow though. So with this right now, we have the great big gap from earnings. We have this gap that I said is also on the weekly chart. Everything else filled from before, but now if we gap up, we'll have a gap here. And we obviously have that resistance from this huge candle. So that's a reversal candle on some volume, and we're trying to retrace this. So it's not out of the ordinary for us to get some kind of intraday pullback. We don't have to automatically dump from here. But the way I'm looking at this right now is, I think it was on the 30-minute chart with extended hours on. Okay, let's get down there. And we're almost at an 80 RSI. We're just pushing up, grinding up. So we're getting really extended, and we're coming up to resistance that we came down on volume. So we should get some kind of pullback here. Who knows how much, with how much we've retraced at this point, to be honest, odds favor us just tightening up. It's coming down, coming up here, maybe reshorting and just tightening up into this event that they have coming up. That's on the 18th to the 21st, where they're going to announce new products and things that we can do with AI now. We do have an overhead price target of $1,200. I think there's no chance that happens. And if it does, that's a stone cold short. My reasoning for that is, like I was saying before, the furthest we got away was 60%. And if we go to 1,200, I think it was like 100 and like even 1,100 was 81%. If we go to 1,200, I think it was like 120% or something away from the 20-period moving average. So we're going to be extremely extended when we still have this weekly gap. So it's going to be a solid short if we go up that far. I don't see anything significant coming out of this conference. I think the way this is trading, this is the run up into the hype, and it's going to be a sell the news event. It's a known event. Everyone knows about it. We just don't know what they're going to talk about. New products, faster GPUs, cool, which is awesome for the company. They're a great company. They make money. But at the same time, it's nothing really substantial that I think is groundbreaking at this point. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. If you look here, the weekly charts back to 90 RSI, super extended. And we're at all-time highs, so that doesn't really matter, but it does. Like we have a gap here. We're far from home base. We're extended. This is going to correct at some point, whether that's time or price. and I'm playing that accordingly. Like I said, the way I think I'm going to do it tomorrow is I'm going to short against this high on a 30-minute chart. Just look for some kind of pullback. Nothing really long term on this right now because I do have a short in SMCI, so I'm just going to day trade around that for now. Um, yeah, my idea is that this is probably just going to tighten up. So we just bounce, like I said, lower high, and then tighten up the rest of the week into next week, and then pop one way or the other. That's how I think it's going to play out. If we would say we come down here, we pop up, pull back, set a higher low, and then break to a new all-time high. The thing with that is we're going to have bearish divergence on the daily. So that also would have me eyeing up another short because we're at 84 there. Again, on volume. And that to me is important. Like I said in the previous video, the only thing comparable outside of that earnings was here. And we came up, retested that high. And I believe it was like 12, 15, no, 17% we pulled back. So we could easily come up here, you know what I mean, retest this high, and then 17% pullback would give us that gap fill and some. And this was my target actually, 800. I think it's going to be a lot harder to fill this gap down here just because their earnings were so good. But down here is definitely plausible to come into this zone. We had some sort of price history for easily, like you can see there, it's like a week and a couple days. That makes sense to retest that. If we would come up here, reject, fill this gap, by then the 20 period moving average is creeping up, so that also would line up with that as support. But I'm looking for this as a short right now. Like I said, this is extended. I think it needs to cool off, consolidate, whether that's sideways or a pullback. But I'm looking to short this at least for a day trade on a 30-minute chart, and that's how I'm going to approach it tomorrow. It's just my thoughts for now, and then into next week. This is probably the last time I'm going to trade it unless we break to a new all-time high, just until that conference is over. But yeah, that's the way I'm going to approach Nvidia tomorrow. And I didn't trade it much today. I scalped it. So the way I did trade it today, I guess, is once we broke this high from yesterday, I saw this on, I think it was a 5-minute chart. Maybe it was a 2-minute. 2-minute. We pushed down, came up to high day, and we bull flagged there. And once we started breaking out here, I knew we were going to get follow through, probably break that high from yesterday. And I grabbed some. I just exited real quick. I exited right around here. So it was a small scalp. And I looked for the short. I got a short here. So I didn't get the bigger short, but just day traded what I think was most likely to happen. I should have just held my calls, but it is what it is. It was made for a scalp. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for tomorrow for Nvidia. And like I said, if you wouldn't mind smashing that like button, it helps the channel grow, and I can continue to reach more people with my thoughts on these trades. Basically, I'm just doing videos on my trade plans. I'm not going to cover the whole markets and every ticker that there is. I'm just eyeing up what I think has the most volatility and good risk to reward setups. But until next time, I wish you guys the best in the markets.